You sent the jet. We sent them down. Rescue failed. Now you're losing clowns. No ceasefire. Watch this. Jet down. Trump screaming. Losing ground. Rescue mission. More birds gone. 48 hours. We said no. Carry on. Jet down. Lying wrong. Jet down. No ceasefire. We strike back all night long. You thought your F-15's on the sky. We locked on target, made 2 more fly. 1 crew rescue, 1 still lost in the dust. Rescue choppers running out of turn in the rust. Trump talking big, finish the job on TV. But every jet you send is a gift back to me. You beg for 48, thought we'd kneel and stop. We laughed in your face, keep taking the L, pop. Jet down. Trump screaming, losing ground. Rescue mission, more birds gone. 48 hours, we said no. Carry on. Jet down, lying wrong. Jet down, arrest wrong. No ceasefire, we strike back all night long. Sacred defense, lions still flying high. You lose more planes, we own the sky. No ceasefire. Yeah. Jet down.
We have another Lego video this Easter about Donald Trump committing war crimes. When he dropped that bomb on that bridge in Iran in the name of sending them back to the Stone Ages, he just may have committed war crimes.
Yeah, you blew the bridge, posted the video proud. Power plants next, Stone Age talk out loud. Watch this. What? War crime. Bridge down, civilians cry. Trump on truth, social flexing while they die. Power plants next, blackouts in the night. Stone Age threat. Great Persia still shines bright. You split the brick, we split the bridge in flames. Smoke filling up the sky, posted the video laughing, showing off your strike, threatening power plants, trying to turn off all the lights, dragging us to Stone Age with your illegal might. But Great Persia rises, history on our side. Ancient empire strong, we never hide. True social warrior, keyboard criminal. Every strike you drop, we multiply the missile. War crime. Bridge down, civilians cry. Trump on true social flexing while they die. Power plants next, blackouts in the night. Stone Age threat. Great Persia still shines bright. Sacred defense, we own the fight. War crime. Yeah.
So guys, don't get me wrong, honestly, because this is honestly funny. Like, I've never seen anything like it. It's really funny, seriously, because it's honestly one of the strongest and at the same time smartest things to come out of the internet in a while. Imagine one of the most serious, tense global situations being broken down using something that looks like it belongs in a children's playroom. Bright colors, stiff little characters, blocking movements, the kind of visuals you'd expect from a toy set, not from these discussions about this whole power and global conflict. And yet, that's exactly what's happening with these viral Lego style videos coming out of Iran. At first, you almost don't take it seriously. You screw past it thinking it's just another random animation or maybe even satire. But then you pause because the message starts to hit. There are no longer speeches, no complicated analysis, no overwhelming news panels shouting over each other, just simple scenes, leaders represented as toy figures, discussion shown through exaggerated actions, consequences unfolding in seconds, and it's quiet. It's direct and somehow it sticks. Anyway, guys, this video is not to spread any kind of conflict or whatsoever. Please, this video is just to give commentation on what's actually going on, and also give more light to what's actually happening. This video is about opening up to actually things that some people do not actually talk about, and to actually spread more light to what's going on. And that's where the genius comes in. In a world where information is constantly competing for attention, where everyone is tired of long explanations and complicated breakdowns, these videos do the exact opposite. They simplify everything, they strip events down to their core message, and present it in a way that almost anyone can understand, regardless of language, education, or background. You don't need subtitles, you don't need context, you just watch and you feel like you get it. Anyway, guys, we're going to let the rest of these videos play out so you can watch for yourself and also see with your own eyes exactly what the narration is all about and what they are actually context they're actually trying to put forward. Anyway, guys, if you're new here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments in the comment section. Please, alright, to mention original creators of these clips. Please do not forget to always stream these videos and watch my videos, and then we will always, this is a community where we talk about things happening around the globe, right? Please, thank you so much for always watching my videos. Let's let the rest of videos play out, and then we come back with more commentation. Let's go.
Wow, how incredible and powerful is that video? See, Iran understands how to leverage the arts and entertainment in order to highlight just how reckless and dangerous Donald Trump is. We don't know the actual number, but at least 8 innocent Iranians have lost their life as a result of Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War Crimes, dropping bombs on innocent civilians in the name of trying to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. You Trump supporters, you have a lot of explaining to do, honestly. How does destroying civilian infrastructure in Iran translate into helping the people of Iran that Donald Trump claims he's there to protect? It doesn't make sense and only sets the stage for Donald Trump and his administration that's been a part of this to be held accountable for war crimes. So again, another W for the Iranians for making another incredible and yet powerful video. Now we know why Donald Trump made that post today about raining hell down on Iran. This new Lego video from the Iranians says Trump went to Epstein Island 40 times, allegedly.
Yep. They found a little black book. Take a look, don't overlook. Trump allegedly on page 4008. Just coffee, yeah, that checks out great. Allegedly 40 visits to the island of fun. Never been there, oops, flight logs 1. Photos allegedly fake, memories allegedly gone. Justice allegedly sleeping case allegedly moved on. Epstein, nice guy like some young. Said the man with the orange tongue now he's crying witch hunt and fake. While the evidence allegedly burns for his sake. The list, the VIP list. Powerful men who allegedly don't exist. Your president, your hero, your star, allegedly caught on camera from afar. 40 times, coffee boy sure. The island allegedly loved him, that much is pure. Epstein's dead, secrets in the ground. But the photos Donald allegedly still go around. Allegedly.
You know what I appreciate about the Iranians right now? Is they are not missing a beat when it comes to showing us all why Donald Trump started this forever war with Iran. he is only using this war to cover up his crimes that he committed with Jeffrey Epstein. Where is Jane Doe number 4, and where are the rest of the Epstein files? We know that Donald Trump is a liar, pants on fire. And we see that because even MAGA is starting to defect from Donald Trump because of all of his lies. So we are now at this crossroad here in the United States, ladies and gentlemen, where Donald Trump knows that he needs to be held accountable for every single thing he did with Jeffrey Epstein, along with all of the other crimes he's been committing while in office. So keep on doing God's work, making these Lego videos, all right? Because, yeah, we're not going to lose sight. Despite everything he's trying to do to distract us, we're not going to lose sight and take our minds off of what he did with those Epstein files.
The Iranians have become a master at trolling Donald Trump with Lego movies. Short, sweet, something that he'll watch because it's a cartoon and right there with his mentality. The newest one is very timely. It just came out last night, and it talks about everything that happened in the United States this weekend. The No King's Day protests, the U.S. Air Force aircraft that cost $270 million that got destroyed in Saudi Arabia, and so much more. Let's take a glance at some of what they're talking about. That's just the opening, and you can see that they're just targeting Donald Trump specifically, that the No King's Day protests are getting to him, the loss, the no exit route, everything else that Donald Trump is struggling with right now, they are personally trolling him with. So they say he's going to attack Carg Island. You can see that directly in the video. He calls the military, he tells them to do that. And their response is, well, come closer. So let's watch this. They show that E-3 AWACS aircraft in Saudi Arabia. They show Marines landing in Kuwait. They show U.S. military members in luxury hotels in Kuwait. And then they show somebody building a pine box for the LOS. They show exactly what's going to happen if the U.S. comes closer. They do show that AWACS aircraft being destroyed. Now, I don't believe there was anybody on board. I don't believe that they've actually struck landing craft in the Persian Gulf that the Marines were on. And I don't believe that they have struck any of the luxury hotels that U.S. troops are currently in. But they made it very clear that they are aware of these situations and that they will take appropriate action if the U.S. actually goes after Carg Island. This was a warning more than anything else to both the United States and U.S. allies around the region. If you allow Iran to be attacked, they are going to retaliate with a lot of firepower. And they're going to make sure you know exactly why you're being attacked. That's what this video is. It is a warning to Donald Trump, to the United States, and their allies in the Gulf region.
I watched Donald Trump's speech last night to the nation, so you didn't have to, but here are some of the most ridiculous things he said that are just flat out lies.
The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country, made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year.
The United States economy is doing horribly right now. Gas is almost $6 a gallon in California. People can't afford rent. People can't afford bills. The price of groceries is higher than ever. And to hear the president, who is a billionaire, go online and rant about the stock prices, which the average American doesn't own, and how America is doing better than ever, when internally American citizens feel as if the money being spent abroad can be spent here to focus on school, daycare, healthcare, and infrastructure, is a slap in the face. So once again, I'm going to ask this throughout this video: how do you guys who are poor from Iowa, Nebraska, and farmers continue to support a man who only fills his coffers and makes his friends rich?
Then we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. The countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on.
The United States imports roughly 600,000 barrels a day from Saudi Arabia and up to 350,000 barrels a day from Iraq. This oil all comes through the Strait of Hormuz. And even if it didn't, global markets dictate the price of oil, which is why the oil increase and shortage around the world cause prices to go up. Trump has also threatened to stop sending aid to Ukraine if the Europeans do not help his war in Iran, to come on and start a war that no one needed because Iran wasn't actual imminent threat to us and weren't going to attack us because Iran doesn't officially attack other nations in the region, especially abroad, and then try to rope the EU into your war, and then now you're blaming them for not securing the Strait of Hormuz because you're scared to go in to Iran and actually fight them head on?
In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks.
Not only has this war been sloppy, unnecessary, and messy, you have actually bombed a children's school with hundreds of kids in it. So no, your actions have not been swift and have not been direct. We've also shot at our own planes, and we've also had our own army personnel injured by America and America's actions. So no. And to continuously claim that Iran is decimated while Iran is sending out videos inviting Americas and troops to come on the ground saying that they're ready for you and showing their Navy, you can't just continuously lie because American eyes have not even seen your efforts in the war. We haven't seen anything. All we've seen is you bomb a couple of factories. That doesn't mean Iran is decimated, and I doubt that they're decimated because they're on a bombing campaign right now in Israel and in the Middle East, your allies.
The second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies.
America produces the most oil in the world. That is a true statement. But what he's leaving out, and what most MAGA dummies won't even research, is why we import. We're a net oil importer. We actually export more oil than we import. But we import around 8 million barrels of oil a day because our refineries are not made for the oil that we actually have in America. So America produces something called like light sweet crude oil. Our refineries, though, are made for sour, heavy crude oil, the oil that comes from other places, to refine that. So it's easier for us to export our oil and for us to import the oil. But just so you know, the oil that we actually use in this country is imported, not our own oil. I mean, the more he talks about Iran, this whole video, is the more it sounds like he's talking about Israel. And I think that is just projection of everything that's going on. To continuously say, like, we've never seen any military action like this before. The world has never seen it. I'm the greatest president to ever do anything. Show us the tapes. Show us this illustrious force of America taking out the Iranian regime. Show us that Iran is toppled. Show us that they don't exist anymore because you're lying. I think having to have endured this man my whole life, being a New Yorker, I've endured Trump my whole life. So he's been a scamming, lying sleazeball from Queens my whole life. But now to see his scams and his lies dictate the will of the American people when the majority of American people don't support what he's doing is so infuriating. Because the things he's lying about, I know people are believing, but it's all easily researchable. Have a good rest of you guys' day.
So supporters of these videos believe that this is necessary. They believe that this is a new way of exposing truths they feel are often buried under layers of media bias, political language, or selective reporting. To them, they simplify, or simplicity isn't a weakness, it's power. It cuts through noise, it removes distractions, it delivers a version of events that feels raw, unfiltered, and emotionally clear. And when you pair that with visuals that feel almost innocent, almost childlike, it creates a contrast that's hard to ignore. It's like watching something playful carry a message that's anything but. But of course, not everyone sees it that way. Critics are quick to call it what they believe it is: propaganda, just repackaged for the digital age. They argue that the same simplicity that makes these videos easy to understand also makes them dangerous, because when you remove complexity, you also remove nuance. When you turn real world conflict into short animated clips, you risk reducing complicated situations into good versus bad narratives. And in that process, it becomes very easy to guard emotions, shape opinions, and push a specific point of view without the viewer even realizing it. And if you really think about it, both sides kind of have a point, because what we are seeing here isn't just about Lego animations. It's about how storytelling itself is evolving. It's about how countries, organizations, and even individuals are learning to communicate in a world where attention spans are shorter. Emotions travel faster than facts, and visuals can be more powerful than words. The battlefield isn't just physical anymore, it's digital, psychological, and deeper tied to perception. What makes this video so fascinating is not just what they say, but how they say it. They don't try to overwhelm you with information. They don't try to sound overly intellectual. Instead, they lean into something almost cheesy. And that cheesiness, it's intentional. It lowers your guard. It makes the content feel approachable, even harmless at first glance. And by the time you realize the weight of what you're watching, the message has already settled in your mind. It's almost poetic in a strange way, something designed for building simple words is not being used to reconstruct complex realities. Tiny plastic figures, once meant for imagination and play, are now acting act versions of real life events, shaping how people interpret what's happening across the globe. And maybe that's what makes it so powerful and so controversial at the same time. Because in today's world, truth isn't just about facts anymore, it's about presentation, perception, and who tells the story in a way people are willing to watch. So, yes, it might look a little ridiculous at first. It might even feel a bit over the top or overly dramatic, but underneath that colorful, almost childlike surface is something much more calculated. These videos are not just animations, they are tools designed to capture attention, influence perspective, and leave an impression that lingers longer after the screen goes dark. And when you see them so creative truth telling or cleverly disguised propaganda, one thing is clear: they are working. Because in a world where everyone is fighting to be heard, sometimes the loudest message isn't the most complex one. It's the one that is simply enough to understand, emotional enough to remember, and just cheesy enough to keep you watching until the very end. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for always watching my videos. If you're new here, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments in the comment section. Okay, please all write me. So original creators of these videos, these clips that I've posted are here. All right, thank you so much for always watching my videos. Thanks so much for supporting Cloud Pause. Thanks so much, because your support means so much to me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you all think. Thanks so much for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next.